So yeah, it's been a long time since I made a video, probably about a month or a couple of months now. And in all honesty, it's because I haven't really felt able to. Like, even as I try and speak right now, I'm finding this really, really difficult to actually talk. And part of the reason why I think it's been difficult to make a video is because I don't really feel like I haven't felt creative in the last month or so. I've just sort of wanted to curl up and sleep and forget the world existed and not do an awful lot. And even the really minimalistic chores that I have to do every week, like driving lessons for instance, or my couple of hours of work that I do now, even that has felt like just haven't even been bothered to do that. And driving lessons only like a couple of hours, but it's just been a difficult few weeks. And I wouldn't go as far to say I felt depressed, but I haven't felt particularly. See, I don't like admitting anything. The best way to put it, I haven't felt myself. I've sort of felt like if you have a laptop, you can put it into hibernation, but it's still there. It still works. It hasn't stopped being a laptop, but it hasn't been doing anything. And that's how I felt for the last few weeks. And actually, throughout the school year just gone, the AS, lower sixth form, I've really struggled to be happy throughout the whole thing. Like, maybe a couple of days I'll be hyper and I'll, or maybe, for a certain lesson, I'll go in, I'll feel really happy and, I'll make loads of jokes and talk to all the people I like and feel really, really good and like, but then immediately it goes and I sort of my personality curls in on itself and I hide it, and I haven't been able to basically at times I've wondered if I'm sort of depressed, but like not in see, this is the Ben Gets Serious video, and I haven't felt great over the last year. Basically, I felt like I've been on phases of emotions, like so weird, because some days I'm like, this is amazing, I love being just me and it's great, and I might make a video and I think, oh, it's a really good video, and then I'm on a high, and just then the next day it's like, I hate where I live and I hate school, and it's been really up and down. And I think there's something that would have helped my general mood over the last few months. And if I hadn't have gone on social media as much as I have. Now, I'll try and explain myself here. For a while, I've really wondered if Facebook is a good thing for me to be on, like a healthy thing to be on. Because the problem with Facebook is that it's sort of like a shop window, and when you look through the shop window, you see all of these lovely cupcakes of events that other people are doing, like a certain couple of people have gone on a really good holiday together, or someone else has had a great day at the cinema, or it's all positive things. No one really puts some negative things on Facebook. They're always sort of bragging, or not bragging particularly, but they're not bragging particularly, but they're posting about good things that have happened to them. They're not going to post something where they say, I just, maybe they would actually. This video doesn't work. No, not many people really post feeling bad today, or, you know, just had a horrible conversation with my boss and I might be losing my job. Not many people post that. I mean, there are certain people that do, but I think the majority of people only post if it's something good to talk about. And this becomes a problem if you imagine my shop window analogy again. I check Facebook a lot, like probably more than I should do. So it's sort of like I'm walking past this shop window every, hour or so. And every time I look in, I see all of these people I know, and some people I don't know, in there having a good time in the shop. And I can't really get in the shop. So I look at them and think, why aren't I having that good time? And then immediately starts making you compare your own life to everyone else's. Like, I'll see two people have like met up and gone to the cinema or something, and I'll think, why are my friends wanting to meet up and go to the cinema or something? And you go on Facebook and you see all of the best parts of everyone else's life, and you sort of assume that's how their life always is, but you don't get the bad stuff as well. So you think that everyone else has this great life, but they probably don't in reality. And this lighting is getting really weird. I think one of the reasons that there was a particular night in one night of the year where I got in a really bad mood. I wasn't happy at all, and I felt lonely. I felt really lonely, and I went on Facebook and I sort of realised that there's only a select handful of people I might talk to on Facebook. So when you see that like list of names in the chat window, it's actually quite disheartening in some points, because you see all of the people that you've added as friends but you never speak to, and they never speak to you. And in a moment where I felt upset and I wanted help, how many of those people would be prepared to actually seriously help? Like, probably not many. And it was on this night that actually I made a short film, because I didn't know how to deal with the emotions I was having. So I let it out through a film, which is what did I call it? I think I called it Alive. It's on the channel somewhere. I'll probably play it here or something. And this was like my way of letting out that anger, the fact that all these people on Facebook aren't really my friends. Like, yeah, I've spoken to most of them, but then there's probably a good maybe 100 people I've added that I sort of may have said only a couple of words to, or haven't. Some of them I haven't met, some of them I've only heard about, some of them are just mutual friends. And it got me thinking that I think one of the ways we could have better social networking is if we had less friends added. Because I was checking, thought I'd actually get some proper facts for this video. So I checked the average number of friends, and one of the figures I found was 338, but I think that might be just for the US, but even so, 338 seems to be about the average number. And the amount of friends I actually have is 347. So obviously I'm quite close to that average, but I'm still technically above average. And there's certain people I know who have thousands, like a couple of thousand friends added. And they are not people you are going to be able to depend on. They're not. I don't think you can call them friends. Half of them, I can only imagine they don't know, because I don't know how you could know that many people. And if you did know that many, how can you possibly have friendships with all of those 2,000 people? It is impossible. So I think if you had a friendship, like if you had a friend list that big, if you felt in a bad mood and you looked at that friend list, I don't think that'd bring you any comfort. I think you'd feel worse, because I think you'd look at all these people that have added you as a friend and you realise none of them are your friends. You know, you may have 2,000, but really you probably have 5 good friends, maybe a bit more. But I would argue that really most people only have a few good friends, proper friends. And I think to add any more is just pointless and seeking making you feel more popular than you actually are. For me at least, I feel like I might have, it's awkward now that I've added them, but I feel like I should probably unadd a few people, because I don't see why I added them in the first place anymore, which it's going to be awkward if anyone is watching this who I have added, because they probably know who they are. But if you don't know me, then I don't think it's offensive if I do unadd you. But I would argue people would feel better about their lives if they unadded some people on Facebook, and you just had the genuine people that actually care as your added contacts. And then, you know, a good handful of people after that, people you actually know at school or at work. You know, it doesn't seem like a big thing, but I think maybe it's just me, maybe it's just my problem, but I think, like, if you've added someone who you don't know and you've never spoken to them, why have you got them added? Like, if you go down your contact list now, and say if I asked you, picked a random name, I picked a random name on your contact list, said, message them to say hello now. I think if you can't send that message, if you feel embarrassed to send it, or you're worrying about sending it, maybe they shouldn't be added, because the reason you're going to be embarrassed to do it is either you don't know them well enough, maybe there's some kind of past history between you and the person and you don't want to, re-talk to them, or you might just not like them, or you've hardly ever spoken to them, you don't really like them that much, or any of those reasons. And then I would argue that just seeing their name on that list could cause you some kind of impact. Like, either you're looking at it thinking, I'm never going to have the courage to talk to them, or you're looking at it thinking, I'm not popular enough to talk to them, or you're there looking at them thinking, I can't talk to them because of everything that's happened in the past, and because of that I can't, and that's going to bring up all those memories of things that have happened in the past. Or you're looking at them thinking, God, I hate them, or I don't like them. And for all of those reasons, I'd argue you'd be better off if their name wasn't on that list of friends. This is probably going to look a bit hypocritical, because it's not like I'm going to go back and delete all these people, because doing so now would be probably offensive if they found out. If they saw that I'd unadded them, they'd probably think, is this some kind of like, he hates me, he's deleting me kind of way. Maybe they wouldn't even notice. They probably wouldn't notice, let's face it. But I think the point I'm trying to make is, when you have that friend request, think about it. Do I actually need this person on there? I would argue probably not, but hey. I should just title this video, Ben gets angry for no reason on Facebook, because it is a bit of a pointless rant, and I get that, but I had a friend recently who was told he couldn't have Facebook by his parents, and I was arguing to him at the time, just telling him it's a communication tool, because most of the time that's what I use it for. If I want to meet up with someone the next day, send them a message on Facebook, want to meet up, whatever. In that sense, it is really, really useful, and because obviously it's free messaging, and people get loads of texts on their phones nowadays, but I think my phone is limited, but anyway, it always seems easier to talk to someone over on Facebook, where you can actually type, and it's easier communicating through that than texting on a phone, for instance. So yeah, it is a useful communication tool, and that's how I sold it to him. It is not just a communication tool, because like my head was thinking at the time, well, why would anyone oppose Facebook? Like, it's a fairly simple thing. It's just something you can chat on and you can share things to other people. But as I've thought recently, I think it probably is damaging. I can see now why some people might not want their family to be on it. And maybe not for the rather random reasons that I thought, probably more for the identity fraud, or just general not getting led on by internet paedophiles. But I would argue that actual mental health could be affected by it, because I think mine was, at least a little bit. Probably doesn't affect anyone else at all. Just wanted to share that. Wow. So I'm sorry if this video was a bit boring. I just wanted to do something because I haven't done anything in ages. There are actually videos I'm currently editing, including a Paris. I went to Paris this summer holiday, which was actually a good thing that happened this summer. And so I've videoed that and I'm currently editing it, but there's a lot of video files to get through and I'm lazy and I can't be able to do it. Also, I passed my geography A level, so lessons of this will probably continue. Thanks for putting up with this video if you have watched it, and I'm sorry if there's a bit of a rant or seem pointless. I don't expect many people to agree with my view, but I'd just like to put out there that, even now, okay, right, goodbye, I'm ending it there.